We always hear about how rich the Arab world is, but where do the women fit into all that glam and power? They're out front, leading companies, breaking records, and building empires of their own. And no, we're not talking about royalty. These are real women with real stories. Chapter 1. Dr. Iman Abu Zaid. Some stories begin in quiet corners, away from the glitz of palaces and oil empires, and rise towards something far more enduring than generational wealth. That's exactly the vibe of Dr. Abu Zaid's journey. She was born in Saudi Arabia to her dad, a respected ENT surgeon, and her mom, a homemaker. So yeah, she grew up around medicine, but that didn't mean things were handed to her. She didn't just get one degree. She earned both undergraduate and medical qualifications from University College London. But then she did something most wouldn't expect. She left clinical practice behind and headed to the US to dive into healthcare consulting. Sounds dry on paper, but in reality, it was her way of thinking big, really big. Abu Zaid wasn't content with simply treating one patient at a time. She wanted to shake up the entire healthcare system. Instead of hospital rounds, she set her sights on boardrooms, tech platforms, and building smarter systems for the future. It wasn't flashy work, but it was daring, and that's what made her journey so impressive. Today, she's made history as the only self-made millionaire from healthcare staffing on Forbes' list of America's richest self-made women. Her company, Incredible Health, which helps hospitals hire nurses faster and more efficiently, raised a massive $80 million in a Series B round. That pushed the company's valuation to a jaw-dropping $1.65 billion, but now it could be even more. Her story reminds us that real luxury isn't just about money. It's about having the freedom and guts to choose your path and to change the game while you're at it. And another women who give this inspiration with money is Chapter 2. Hana Al-Rostamani. Walk into any financial district in the UAE and you'll hear whispers about Hana Al-Rostamani. Not because she courts the media, not because she flaunts her power, but because she quietly oversees $330 billion as the group CEO of First Abu Dhabi Bank, the largest bank in the United Arab Emirates. What makes her story so magnetic is how effortlessly she blends tradition with transformation. Al-Rostamani didn't land her role because of a family name or royal decree. She joined FAB in 2000, long before it became a symbol of financial power. She grew with it. From the depths of middle management to steering one of the most influential financial institutions in the Middle East, her rise has been steady, earned, and undisputed. And that's how constant hard work and loyalty pay off. Today, she deserves every bit of that legacy. But the next story was born with a legacy and went on to create one of her own. Chapter 3. Lubna S. Olayan. To understand the story of Lubna S. Olayan is to understand what happens when legacy meets reinvention. Born in Khobar, in the oil-rich eastern province of Saudi Arabia, Lubna grew up surrounded by ambition. Her father, Sheikh Sulaiman Al-Olayan, founded the Olayan Group, one of the most private and powerful business dynasties in the Arab world. But unlike many daughters of billionaires, she didn't just inherit titles, she earned them. In 2004, she became the first woman to sit on the board of a publicly listed Saudi company, a monumental moment in a country where, until recently, women couldn't even drive. It wasn't just a personal victory, it was a cultural shift. From there, she stepped into the role of CEO at Olayan Financing Company, managing a business empire with stakes in everything from pharmaceuticals to food services to global equities. But it didn't stop there. Lubna went on to become chair of the Saudi British Bank and has held board positions in some of the most powerful institutions in the world, including Schlumberger, the MIT Corporation, and even the World Economic Forum trustees. If you're wondering how rich the Olayan family is, well, estimates suggest their fortune exceeds $10 billion. But wealth has never been the centerpiece of Lubna's story. It's always been about responsibility, about navigating one of the world's most patriarchal business landscapes while carrying her family name into the future. She doesn't parade yachts or showcase diamond-dripping soirees. Instead, Lubna sits in rooms where oil contracts are negotiated, where international policies are drafted, where the future of global banking is quietly discussed over espresso and eye contact. Her presence is commanding, but never loud. And in a world where visibility often overshadows substance, Lubna S. Olayan reminds us of the power of quiet influence. But not every Arab woman billionaire story is about old family money or boardroom power. Some are built from scratch, from blogs, makeup brushes, and sheer hustle. Chapter 4. Huda Kattan. The Queen of Beauty who turned a small idea into a global phenomenon. Huda's story is one a lot of us can relate to. She wasn't born into royalty. She wasn't handed a business. She was just a regular woman with a finance degree, working a steady job. But life had other plans. When the 2008 recession hit, she lost her job and moved back to Dubai to be closer to her family. And honestly, what seemed like a setback turned out to be her biggest blessing. She didn't sit around feeling sorry for herself. Instead, she took a leap of faith. She moved to Los Angeles, studied makeup, and got to work. That passion for makeup? It turned into a blog, Huda Beauty. No huge marketing teams, no startup fund, just her voice, her tutorials, and her honesty. Soon, people were listening. And not just a few. Thousands, then millions. Then came the next bold move. With just a $6,000 loan from her sisters, she launched her first product, fake eyelashes. Sounds simple, right? But it wasn't just any pair of lashes. They were luxe, unique, and they quickly became a hot favorite. Even Kim Kardashian shouted them out. And once Sephora Dubai picked them up, boom, 7,000 units were selling per week. They had only expected to sell that much in a year. Huda's story is kind of like the classic from blog to billionaire brand tale, but with her own Middle Eastern twist. She didn't just sell makeup, she created a beauty movement. One that embraced all skin tones, all faces, and all kinds of bold. And the numbers speak for themselves. In 2023, Forbes listed her as the richest self-made American woman in the beauty world with a net worth of $400 million. But more recent estimates peg her at $560 million, and honestly, it's probably still climbing. Her brand, Huda Beauty, is now worth over $1.2 billion. Huda built all of this with no major inheritance, no royal title, and no traditional blueprint. Just grit, vision, and a whole lot of mascara. She represents a different kind of power, one rooted in self-belief, innovation, and creativity. Now, let's be real for a second. Most of these names, you probably hadn't heard of them before today, and that's the point. Their stories don't always make headlines. They're not viral TikTok stars or reality TV regulars, but their impact, massive. This isn't about royalty or inherited palaces. It's about real Arab women, smart, ambitious, and ridiculously hardworking, who've carved out their own version of luxury, and not just in dollars or diamonds, but in power, in legacy, in respect. Together, these women have built or led empires worth more than $3 billion. But what they've already accomplished is a serious flex, and what's coming next is bound to be even bigger. Honestly, seeing women like this getting the spotlight feels exciting and long overdue. It's not about loud headlines or flashy drama. It's about real impact. These stories prove that luxury isn't always private jets and diamonds. Sometimes it's running a billion-dollar company or reshaping entire industries. You don't need a royal title to lead. And no, you might not have billions sitting in the bank, but leading a bank worth billions? Now that's power. It's only a matter of time before their names hit the top of every billionaire list out there. But for now, we'll keep cheering them on. That's it from me. See you next time.